This is just one of those nights that reminds you why we love hockey. Welcome to the Postcast. I'm Ross Levitan, a part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We are brought to you by the Glebe Central Pub. Check out the GCP where the vibes are free. You can visit them at 779 Bank Street. Let them know that Locked On Senators sent you. Our guy, Jack Richardson, is on the GCP shuttle right now. He will join me shortly with a boots on the ground report. The Ottawa Senators win 4-1. And Linus Ullmark, in his first game back after a month-long leave of absence due to mental health, he comes back and is awesome. 26 saves for Ullmark, including a couple highlight reel beauties. The glove save in the second period. You kidding me? Windmill action? How about the 2-on-1 in the third period on Heischer? That was just a masterful performance. And this is one of those things that almost makes me second guess the analytics and the expected goals, because according to Natural Stat Trick, the Devils only had 1.68 expected goals. I mean, to me, Linus Ullmark looked a lot better than that. And shout out to everyone who was at the game tonight. We'll get Jack's boots on the ground thoughts on this, but the ovation that Ullmark got, not only initially when he was introduced with the starting lineups, but that first star was all time. So shout out to the fans for making Linus as comfortable as he needed to be. And shout out to Linus for coming through in this game. It was 1-1 late in the third period, and New Jersey thought they tied it. Hashtag sends abroad Connor Brown. Nuh-uh, not today, buddy. You can't glove the puck into the net. Frankly, the Senators know, because from experience, earlier this season, they showed on the broadcast, Drake Batherson thought he scored, but it was deemed to be a hand pass into the net. So Ottawa turns that would be I should have said 2-1. It was 2-1 at that time. Turns what would have been a tie game into a 2-on-run rush the other way, and Tim Stützle just keeps and makes no mistake. If there was a player tonight who deserved to get a goal, it was Tim Stützle. He was dancing all over the place, couldn't buy one until that late in the game, and it was his 25th goal of the season. Already 25 tucks for Timmy. That's just awesome, and we're still banking on him to stay hot down the stretch. My hot take going into the season was, let's get 40 goals for Tim Stützle. I don't know if the pace is right there, but I can tell you that in 29 less games, Tim Stützle has now matched his goal output from last season. Let that sink in a little. And have a little sip while we think about that. Tim Stützle just tied his goal output last season in 29 less games. This was an awesome game. Sens win their third straight, by the way, I should mention. And they are slowly but surely climbing their way up the standings. I know we're all out of town scoreboard watching earlier than usual. There's a lot of teams that are winning in the Atlantic Division. But there's also a few that have been losing. Ottawa now tied with the Florida Panthers in points. And we'll all be watching that outdoor game tomorrow, hoping for the Tampa Bay Lightning to win that one in regulation over the Boston Bruins. But I apologize for going there. Let's just enjoy what we saw in tonight's game. The Sens had not scored on the power play in 5 straight games. Not anymore. This is a streaky power play team. You can even go back the last 25 games. Their power play has been about 14%. But all their goals are in clusters. They go through 2 or 3 game stretches where they score once, twice, or maybe 3 times. Tonight, it was 2 power play goals, including the opening goal of this game, Brady Tkachuk, after a sick feed, cross ice from Drake Batherson, and he made no mistake. I thought the puck movement was really good on that power play, and Timmy was dancing around, moving it down to Batherson, but that seam right through the goalie, Siegenthaler, Brendan Dillon, they were all standing right there, but none of them could do anything, and I think that Jake Allen thought that Brady Tkachuk was going to try to roof it, and instead goes 5-hole, it's in the back of the net, and it's 1-0. At that point, Linus Ullmark had done all of the work. He made a few real nice saves early in this game, and I also really appreciated that he was really good with his rebounds. That's something that as a goalie might be the most difficult part to come by. Sure, the puck can hit you, but what are you going to do with it after? I saw him squeeze to the left, squeeze to the right, squeeze his pads. There was the one where he was falling backwards and the puck just stopped right behind him. Thomas Chabot doing a good job to get his stick behind there. We got an update on Thomas Chabot. We'll get that to you a little later. He left and did not return this game after leaving in the third period. But this is the Linus cast, as we're seeing in the chat. Linus Ullmark needs all the flowers for this one. There was way too much talk. And look, some of it, I was a part of. I didn't love that he was, showed up the week after the leave at the game with Detroit. Well, you're going to be people are going to ask questions. Why is the starting goalie at the rink? Like, it's not against him, but it's the curiosity that it creates that he's around the rink. Then he's practicing for 2 weeks. Then he's backing up for a week. And it all led to the perfect mountaintop with Linus Ullmark coming back when he was ready, handpicked opponent, New Jersey Devils, and you win that game in regulation like you have to. You jump the Devils now in the standings with this one, and it's just so awesome to see. The support from the crowd, as I already alluded to, was one thing, but this wasn't like oh, good job, buddy, we're happy you're back. This was like, you played unbelievable by any standards. That was the Vezina Trophy winning Linus Ullmark that we saw here, and we need to see more of it because that was A, so much fun, and B, just gives you hope that this team was really just a goaltender away from making some serious noise and trying to now catch up that extra ground that was let go on those losing streaks where they would lose 5 in a row in regulation, and it just wasn't clicking. But now they've won 3 in a row. You have 3 more games before the Olympic break. The Pittsburgh Penguins, who you're going to play on Monday, have won 6 straight games. They almost blew it tonight, but they didn't, against the New York Rangers this afternoon, I should say. And then you've got the Carolina Hurricanes on the second half of back-to-back on the road. That's a tough one too. You wrap up before the Olympics with Philadelphia. And I'm curious in the chat, like, which ones do you play Linus for? You got to think the Philly game, obviously, but what half of the back-to-back? Do you go against the already proven elite team in Carolina, or a team that some would say has overperformed, but who have won 6 in a row in the Pittsburgh Penguins? I don't know which way I lean, but the Sens are going to figure that out tomorrow as they pack up and head to Pennsylvania, where they'll take on the Penguins on Monday. But this game in particular, you look at the lottery boys, as we like to refer to them at, Brady Tkachuk, Tim Stützle, and Jake Sanderson. I thought they were all fantastic in this game. Brady scores his 14th of the season. As I mentioned, Timmy scores his 25th. Jake Sanderson only getting the 1 assist on the empty net, secondary assist at that. But he had, again, just like he did against Colorado, just like he did on Tuesday night as well, on last Sunday as well against Vegas, he was just so elite defensively. There were a couple plays where guys thought that they were in all alone, and all of a sudden Jake Sanderson's stick is right in the way. So I thought that the lottery boys tonight really came through, and Brady was physical early in this game. He's been a monster. He had 3 points tonight. Like, I'm just glad that we stood strong on the Brady Tkachuk train, because look, there was no doubt that there was a dip of performance based on what his level is, but his level's so high, you know he's going to get back to it. And Brady Tkachuk, to me, led the way tonight. We do have Sen Central standouts we'll get to a little bit later on. Jack's pulling in to the Glebe Central pub in a few minutes, so we'll get his thoughts on this game. So why don't we, in the meantime, let's chat about the Glebe Central pub, because the Glebe Central pub is the best spot to watch the game. You can go there every single night. The postcast, it's always brought to you by the GCP, where the vibes are free. You can visit them at 779 Bank Street. When you do, let them know that Locked On Senators sent you, and you can get your Glebe Central Pub shuttle tickets, just like Jack and all his boys did tonight, at GlebeCentralPub.com, and let them know that Locked On Senators sent you. It's a great place to watch the game as well. You can go there any night of the week. There's something going on. Live music every Saturday night, so Jack's going to dive into that later tonight. You've got wing nights every Monday. You got Taco Thursdays or Taco Tuesdays, I should say. And then you've got Trivia Tuesdays, Tacos Thursdays, bang. And then open mic night every Wednesday night. You can go there for a good time and a long time. It's walking distance from Lansdowne. Visit them at 779 Bank Street and make sure that when you do, you let them know that Locked On Senators sent you. It's the Glebe Central Pub, our pub, 779 Bank Street. We'll see you there on March 14th. Tonight's postcast is also brought to you by FanDuel. It's the last call for football on FanDuel. One final Sunday, one last kickoff, the final chance to get in on the action before the NFL season comes to a close. It's Super Bowl 60, and FanDuel's making sure you're right in the action with a special offer just in time for the big game. Whether you're backing the favorites in the Seahawks or you're looking at the underdog Patriots, you can build one last same-game parlay. It's what everyone's been waiting for. It's where predictions turn into plays, stats turn into storylines, and every snap feels bigger. It's the perfect way to cap off the season and make the Super Bowl even more exciting from kickoff to the final whistle. If you're a new customer, bet just $5 and you'll get $200 in bonus bets if you win. Make it count, because after the Super Bowl, the NFL season is over. Last call for football on FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. Welcome back to the postcast. I'm Ross Levitan, and shout out to 380 citizens joining us after a 4-1 Sens win over the New Jersey Devils. Before we get back to all the beautiful storylines from this game, of which there are many, I just want to take a moment and give stick taps to people who host podcasts by themselves. I love seeing Pilsy's smiling face. I love when Martian gives it back to me and challenges me. And when Jack is just always in a good mood. Because being by yourself, man, I couldn't imagine if they had lost this game. Could you imagine if the Ottawa Senators had the similar luck that they had all season in terms of goals that are 50-50? Although I did think this was, they called it a goal on the ice. I thought this was a very clear no goal. But could you imagine that went in? And then let's say they score again in regulation, even in overtime. If the Sens don't win this game in regulation, they're tied with the New Jersey Devils. Not anymore. They're able to get that win. And to put the exclamation marks on it like they did, even better. Shane Pinto, who's done everything defensively that a coach could ask for, hasn't really been producing offense. I think I heard Dean Brown say it's like 2 goals, 3 assists in his last double-digit games. I actually looked that up. But it feels like Shane Pinto, the defense has come at the expense of some offense. So for him to, in a defensive situation, defending with the goal he pulled, to score that goal, incredible. Yeah, 1 goal, 1 assist in his last 8 games for Shane Pinto. But he's got a point tonight. And now, when the Senators get a point from Shane Pinto, they're 14-6-3 this season. Pretty good. Yeah, they're 79-17-10 all time. That's better than pretty good. So shout out to Shane Pinto. That whole checking line, I think, deserves some flowers. How'd they do tonight in terms of their shift length, their shift expected goals? They were very good. Shocker. Sitting at a 85% expected goals when they were on the ice in 10 minutes and 14 seconds. The Senators have lines that work right now. And sure, knock on wood, health is a big part of it. But I think there's also a lot to be said about finding Ridley Gregg on a top 6 unit and how that opens up different guys to play in different situations that can give you an advantage when you need that secondary offense behind the Tim Stützle line. And obviously, he was great in this game. All right, let's get to our guy, Jack Richardson, boots on the ground at the GCP. I'm so jealous of you right now, man. How are you doing?
Dude, Ross, it's nice and cold out here. I'm trying to hear you properly. I'm trying to get the GCP in the background here, obviously. It's lively down here, man. It's a Saturday night. We got live music. It's nice vibe down here. I want to shout out, first, before we get into the game, the Canadian Tire Center was handing out bagels as people walked out. I got a fistful of bagels, Ross. Never thought I'd say that walking out of the CTC, but I got protein bagels. So shout out to the CTC staff.
Did they say why?
No, it was one of those things as you're walking out of the game. They got a full cart of them handing out to every fan. So the GCP shuttle was full of people with protein bagels. Weirdest experience of my life, but I'm not complaining. I'll take them. I got breakfast tomorrow morning.
Were they banking on a Linus Ullmark shutout tonight or what? Bagels for everyone.
Maybe. And I'm glad that it wasn't a Sens getting shut out because that would have been even worse. But I think that that's a good thing that it was Ullmark. Holy, Ross. I know you've probably talked about number 35, but can you talk about a better return? That guy looks steady, and it felt like we had a Vezina winner between the pipes tonight.
It certainly did. Before we get to that, you said get shut out. Jacko, the Sens score first tonight. When the Sens score first, they're 18-4-3.
Let's go!
Let's go. Fire it up. That's live at the GCP. Dial it in. Is that your buddy or just a stranger?
It was my buddy. I would have been nervous if it was a random person, but that was my buddy.
No, everybody's friends at the GCP.
Yeah, they are.
The Sens are 18-4-3 when they score first this season. And you just love to see the power play come through. First time in 6 games, the power play goes through. But you had great seats for this one, Jack. Take me through the Linus Ullmark experience from start to finish.
I think the best way to describe the experience with Linus Ullmark is just confidence. He was calm. Every single save he made me feel safe.
Let's go.
And these are all my buddies. Shout out my buddies.
I love it. Let's go. This is what a win's all about.
Shout out my buddies. There we go.
Is that a Zach Smith jersey?
It is a Zach Smith jersey. It is a Zach Smith jersey. We voted on the Zach Smith. That was the plan tonight for him.
Nice.
I think everyone felt confident in Linus Ullmark tonight. That's all it was. It wasn't like he was stealing the game in terms of really nice saves or anything like that. You know, he had a couple really nice ones, but he made every save he had to. And there were a lot of them. It was more shots than this team's let up normally. Let's put it that way. But Ross, he was awesome. He was awesome. Best way to put it.
Yeah, and I'm actually pulling that up right now because we mentioned it. Wasn't it was it Saturday night or Sunday? They've given up the second most shots that they had all season. Like this has to be right up there for the 2025-26 shot suppression Ottawa Senators. The total tonight was how many? I think 27 shots.
Yeah. And what's most impressive is the first period, especially early, like those. I mean, I know you talked about the PK as well, probably. He's a big part of that, man. And I know that the penalty kill itself, I thought looked good. I want to dive into it, maybe dive in some more film. We'll talk about that later, maybe. But I thought the PK looked good itself, but Ullmark was there, bro. He was there every single time they needed a save. He's a big part of it. And I think in the first period specifically, they didn't start very well. It was 5-0 maybe in shots. I'll move it closer to the GCP here. The crowd's kind of dispersed.
You're golden.
There we go. Got my buddies. Yeah, my buddy's wearing a Zach Smith jersey. How crazy is that?
The chat's loving that. We've got Greg shouting out Maple Creek, Saskatchewan. Let's go. People are asking what jersey you rocking tonight.
I've actually got it's not mine, so I don't want to flex it too hard. I got the red. I got a Timmy jersey. It's my dad, so I stole it from him for the night. Felt like wearing a Timmy jersey. And Ross, I don't usually like to flaunt my bets, but I will tonight because this was a special one for me. Felt like it was a Timmy Sens win kind of night, and that
5
came
units,
through. It was a big one. It was a big one. Instead of sprinkling it all over stuff, I said, you know what? It's going to be a Timmy goal and a Sens win. Yeah. Special night.
I'm the spray and pray guy when it comes to Sens. But tonight I had 2 goals. I had a Brady goal and a Timmy goal. Bang, bang. And I had Sens money line, Sens in regulation, Sens -1.5, Sens -2.5. So the empty netter dialed it in for me. So yeah, that was nice. But it's not about us. It's about them. And you brought up the penalty kill. I didn't. I basically just talked about Linus Ullmark for 15 minutes and the clutch scoring. We had a moment for Tim Stützle, who has now tied his total of goals from last season. Actually, did he beat it? Did I do a tie? Yeah, he beat it. Nice.
25.
That's what I meant, guys, earlier. I literally said, let's think about this. And I took a sip. And it turns out I was wrong. So even better.
Let's get some stick taps for Ross, by the way, hosting this on his own. Postcasts on their own is different than a live stream, live watch party on their own. And I'm a little rattled. I know I was in the building, Ross. I wish I was doing the live watch party, to be honest.
You would have been just buckled for
it. It would have been good. It would have been good. But the PK, I think we've talked a lot about the way that it can lose and generate momentum for this team.
Yeah.
That barn got going. Every single kill. And we can talk about the calls. Some of the calls were ridiculous. Thomas Chabot, hope he's okay. But getting a tripping penalty on a play where he didn't even trip him and he got hurt, not great. But
that high stick?
Yep. The high stick
that didn't hit anywhere near the guy's face. But I just chalked it up as they were due for a penalty. Like, they hadn't had a penalty in like 6 periods.
Yeah, there were a couple, but there were a lot of calls tonight. And I think a lot of it was because the Sens power play was unreal. So the fact that the refs had to call that, I'm sorry it's a bit loud. I got the OC transpo going by me. Ross, I'm so back. I miss Ottawa so much.
Buddy, you're right in the heart of the glebe, 779 Bank Street at the GCP shuttle. Everyone's waving as they go by. Big citizens just walking through. I cannot wait. We are going to have a blast on March 14th for that. It's a matinee too. Like the only thing that I would fix about your visual right now is I need the sun shining after a third straight Sens win.
It's freezing. It is freezing outside right now, but that's special, man. You got people walking out of the CTC with a bunch of bagels and minus 30 weather. That's what makes it special, man. That's 3 straight wins in the CTC. What a way to end the homestand.
And it's not even just like a bagel here, a bagel there. That's like a whole pack of bagels from the grocery store. It was literally like
they were handing out these the whole time, and they're protein ones. Like shout out Dempster's, no free ads, but shout out Dempster's, and they weird giveaway. But I gotta be honest, I'll take it. I got breakfast tomorrow, like I said.
Senator mentions that Tim Stützle's on pace for, let's round up to 38 goals. If you think he likes 40, click the thumbs up on the screen, and I say he does it, buddy. He deserved a goal tonight so badly. How about that play? It resulted in a rush chance for Jordan Spence. Good defensive stick by Nemec there, but he was literally playing Chell. Like he was toe dragging and then doing the backhand toe drag forward while hitting a guy in stride over the blue line. That was just an elite play. He's the best.
But if Tim Stützle played for the New Jersey Devils or the New York Rangers, which it sucks, they could have had him, sucks to suck. This guy would be one of the best players in the league. I'm not kidding. The amount of attention Jack Hughes gets is despicable compared to what Tim Stützle gets league wide. That guy.
Let me look in the camera. I will take Tim Stützle on my team over Jack Hughes every day of the week.
That's what I'm saying. And we can talk about tonight, and then you look at the box score. Oh, Jack Hughes didn't play. Story of his career, bro. That's why Tim Stützle, to me, his durability, what the Sens ask him to do, and what he's providing this season is unlike any other player. Or I shouldn't say unlike any other player, but the players it's like in the league are among the league's best. He does everything. He kills penalties, runs the power play, even strength, timely goals in the third period. Tim Stützle is a stud, and I think we are just starting to see him scratch the surface. 24 years old, and I can't wait to see him at the Olympics. It's just a crazy, like, he's worth the price of admission. Martian put it best, and I put Jake Sanderson in that boat as well. I kind of doubled back on that, but I think Tim Stützle, it's been a while since I've seen him live, Ross, and he's really changed his game since the last time. Like, that home opener was the last time I saw him, and man, what a treat.
What a treat. Jack, we'll let you go warm up in just a minute, but I went from hosting this by myself to having a double dip boots on the ground. We've got the Marshy here. What's up, fella? How you doing, dude?
Boys, unbelievable game from the Ottawa Senators tonight.
That was so fun, man. I got Jack's thoughts on Linus Ullmark. Let me get yours right now, and then we'll hit the break and head to a quick Sen Central standout.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think right off the bat, he gave me a lot of confidence in just the way he was playing. He was very spongy tonight, I would say, Ross. He was absorbing pucks extremely well, not giving up a lot of rebounds, using his glove and catching pucks. I was obviously coming into the game. We didn't really know how he was going to, respond to coming off of his leave of absence. And on a Saturday night at home, like the crowd definitely, I think, when the crowd gets behind a guy like that and you get to feel the emotions of 18,000 people raining down on you saying, we support you. I think for a guy like Linus Ullmark, that's going to go a long way. And it certainly did that tonight. I think it helped in a weird way. Like, you have all these people cheering for you, but in a weird way, I think it helped him settle down a little bit. Like it made him realize that, he's a huge part of this team. We need this guy to be the goaltender that he was tonight. And I think that, the Devils came out of this, like into this game right away. I know they had a little bit of a skeleton crew, obviously the Hughes brothers being out and Heischer being a game time decision and playing. He obviously was sick. I didn't notice him much at all tonight. And, Linus Ullmark and the Devils, like they came out and they were firing early. I think they put a lot of pressure on the Sens at the start of the game. And then next thing you know, Linus Ullmark is making great saves. And, throughout that first period, he did a really good job making sure the boys knew he was going to be there for them. And then from there, the Sens were able to find their own game and build off of it. And that's the kind of team that we're looking for, boys. It's all about a team game. That was a team effort all the way up and down the lineup. I think we said the same thing last game against Colorado. They just played like a group, right? They played as a cohesive unit. And all the guys, and I heard you waxing poetic about Tim Stützle there, Jack, but holy moly, right? I mean, that's the guy when I go into that rink, I'm looking forward to watch. And he was just awesome again tonight too.
Jack, give me a smile. I got to take a screenshot of this with the GCP in the background. Let's go. That's so beautiful. What a beautiful shot. Jack, you got to go warm up in there, fella. Give me a standout on the way in.
Yeah, my standout, I'm just going to take him. I'm going to take number 35, Linus Ullmark. This guy's a star. You look at the list of Vezina winners, fellas, there are not many that get traded. Not many are available. They have one in their grasp. And if he can play like that, this team is a problem. I almost just swore on the postcast first time in my life.
Jack, can you imagine we're having conversations? Should the Sens explore bringing in Laurent Brossoit when we got Linus Ullmark, bro? Let's
Crazy.
go.
Crazy. He was so good. And Martian, I like the way you put that. The way the crowd got behind him tonight, that was special. That was something different. They played a little bit of his interview before the game. He was so good. He stopped momentum. He looked calm. He looked agile. He looked refreshed. And I'm just excited, man, for the stretch. This is important. And he's got a big break coming up with the Olympics. Very excited. Linus Ullmark's my standout. I'll send you boys into the rest of them.
Yeah, Jack, don't be stretching right now because your muscles are cold as ice, eh? Go have a hottie toddy in there and go warm up. Enjoy a Saturday night. Live music, no cover ever at the GCP. That's our guy, Jack Richardson. We'll be back with more on the postcast. You're listening to Locked On Senators, your team every day. The postcast is brought to you by Quo. New year, new systems. This is the time when a lot of us look at the messier parts of how we run our business, and we think there has to be a better way, right? Yeah, there is. Streamlining your communications is one of the quickest upgrades you can make. That's why today's episode is brought to you by Quo, spelled Quo, the smarter way to run your business communications. Because when your team is reachable, organized, and coordinating in one place, you're not just working cleaner, you're creating more opportunities to connect with your customers. I love how Quo makes it so easy. Works right from your phone or computer. You can even keep your existing number. And Quo's smart AI tools automatically log calls, summarize conversations, and highlight next steps so details never slip through the cracks. Make this year the one where no opportunity and no customer slips away. Try Quo for free. Plus, get 20% off for your first 6 months when you go to quo.com/lockedonnhl. That's QUO.com/lockedonnhl. Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. All right, welcome back to the postcast. I'm Ross Levitan alongside the Martian, who was boots on the ground for a 4-1 Sens win over the New Jersey Devils. Brady Tkachuk, Dylan Cousins, Tim Stützle, Shane Pinto. Those are your goal scorers for tonight's game. Timo Meier, the lone marker for the New Jersey Devils. Marshy, I'm so jealous you got to be in the rink for this one. Take me through one note that we mentioned but didn't really get into. What was the atmosphere like in the building when New Jersey thought they tied it on that power play late in the third?
Oh, yeah, that was such a weird one, right? Because the initial wave off happened right as soon as the puck went in the net. So I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. It looked like Connor Brown kind of, it looked when I initially saw it, because it did kind of happen at the end of the rink that I have a really good visual on. And I'm on the other side of where he was. I thought that for sure that was going to be no goal because it looked like he actually threw it in the net from that time. And then the refs went and had their discussion. And I think that they realized that Linus Ullmark actually was the one who ended up kind of bumping it into the net with his own stick. So I think they called it a goal at that point.
They did.
But then, so then the call on the ice at that point is now a goal, right? So the Sens have to challenge, which incredible challenge, because I'm not sure exactly I'm sure the broadcast probably got into it a little bit more than I was able to get to while I was in the rink. But
dude, I was listening to Dean and Gord and they were just beside themselves. They didn't really get into it other than saying, this is crazy. That's no goal.
Yeah, because it's weird, right? Because if you're in the neutral zone and you catch a puck like that and you throw it at that far in front of your feet, as Connor Brown did, and then you continue to carry the puck, it's really not a big deal, right? And that would be a legal play. But when you're standing 2 feet from the crease and you're throwing it basically on the goal line, that changes things a lot. And then obviously Ullmark kind of bumped it. And then I don't know if Brown ended up getting a stick on it. I really didn't get a good look at the replay. But me watching that, I go, this is going to count. And of course, that's what they ended up, calling it a goal after the discussion. I go, they're going to count this. And then I mean, I don't know what the official ruling, like I said, was, but when they challenged it, I said they must know something that I don't, because if you're going to challenge this, you got to be sure that that's going to be a goal. Because can you imagine, Ross, that goal counts and then they make a challenge and it fails, and then the Ottawa Senators go on a penalty kill at that moment? That could have been one of these devastating losses that we've been facing the whole season. That, like, you have to be sure. So we got to give a big shout out to USA Olympian video coach
Mike King,
the Kinger. What a call by the Kinger to make that one get challenged and make sure that the right thing happens there. So enormous, right? Because this game could look a lot differently, especially if they end up tying it there and it goes to, like, it could have gone to overtime and then anything can happen from there. Obviously the Sens end up, Tim Stützle takes over there with the 3-1 goal. I mean, unbelievable, right?
Sick.
That's just him saying, "I'm taking this game, and I'm not even waiting for you to pull your goalie to get this thing done.
No.
I'm gonna go and bury this one." So, incredible.
He did it and then Pinto did it all for all of us who had Sens -2.5. Us cocky bastards like me out there that was like -2.5. Pinto, thank you very much. We appreciate that very, very much. Did you get bagels on the way out of this one?
Bagels.
Yeah, Jack said they were just throwing out full 5 bagel, like what you get at the grocery store, protein bagels. He had a Dempster's one with him when he came on. Yeah, he's got it at the GCP right now. Just him and his boys, each of them just carrying a bag of bagels.
My exit did not have bagels. I actually I get a lot of heat for the way I say bagel. I don't know what I don't
bagel?
know.
Nah, I love it.
I say it properly.
I love it. No, it's all awesome, man. What a great vibe tonight. And thank goodness that goal was called back, because it deserved to be called back. Heck, Ottawa had almost the same play earlier this season where Batherson got it. Like, the fact that it was Connor Brown kind of gives a little smirk on your face, because good guy, good teammate, but you don't want to see a Sens abroad do that to you. Hey,
he did it to us last time, so he got his revenge already.
Well, yeah, and you're literally like the Sens Devils expert.
I don't know what's going on here. I can't stop going to the Sens Devils games.
But you know what's funny? I think the last Sens Devils game you missed, or were you there? The one where Batherson had the OT goal, because we weren't sitting with you for that one, but that was before we were best buddies. Remember, we went to that Sens Habs game, the wild one where Kaslik scored a goal and got in his first fight? Yeah. And then we stayed and went to the next one. I was supposed to stay and go to the next one as well with Pilsy. We got COVID and we had to dial it in. They got pumped that game against Florida, but we stayed for the Devils game.
I was there, but I wasn't with you guys, remember?
Yeah, we came by and saw you, I think. Now that's ringing a bell for sure. We had our guy Jared.
I don't miss Devils game. I don't miss Devils.
No, you don't miss Devils game.
It's crazy. I don't do it on purpose, but it just seems to line up well for my schedule. So,
dude, I thought about leading the show with this. I thought it was a little too risque, but look, Linus Ullmark's back in a big way, and I think it's a normal thing to say when you're dealing with mental health that you're fighting demons, right? I was going to lead my short after the game and say he fought his demons and now he killed the Devils.
Yeah, I like that, Ross.
That's pretty good, eh?
That is really good, actually.
Yeah. He fought his demons and he killed the Devils. Oh, man. You know what I rewatched recently? Little Nicky. Hilarious movie on rewatch. It actually is it is very, very insane. It's
those ones I watched as a kid, and I was like, this might be too much for me at this point in life. Like, you don't really. I don't think I picked up on a lot of the jokes that were happening.
No, but if that one's worth a rewatch for sure. All right, so Jack got Linus Ullmark as his Sens Central standout. No doubt, this is the Linus Ullmark legacy game, I'll say, or welcome back game at the very least. Who's your Sens Central standout tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate you going to me here, Ross, but I mean, it's almost impossible for me to not go with Tim Stützle tonight. Like, he was just so good, man. The way he just decides to take over a game sometimes, it's actually scary. And he's a threat at all times when he's on the ice. The goal to put them up 3-1 was incredible, right? Like, the way he breaks in there, he makes that toe drag move around that it might have been it might have been one of the defensemen, might have been a forward, doesn't matter who it was. He absolutely danced around that guy, and then to make the move to beat Jake Allen on that play, like that little, like, I don't know if it was like a little soft chip shot or how it ended up past him, but just a great overall game from Tim Stützle. When he's at home, I feel like that's when he's at his strongest, and he comes out of this one with 2 points, 1 goal, 1 assist. He's on the positive side of things. Nice +1 for Timmy. He was good in the dot, not great. 44%. Like I think that's way below his season average right now. But 5 shots on goal, Ross. I mean, this guy was an offensive threat all night, and I think that the Devils recognized that pretty early because they had guys all over him all night too. Like he was getting smothered. Anytime he was cruising through the neutral zone, they were trying to slow him down as best they could. But they couldn't do enough, right? He's a monster. He's the German, and he played an incredible game tonight.
Dude, I'm so sick. I'm so fired up. Look, he's got great teammates in Ottawa, don't get me wrong. But like him playing with Leon Draisaitl is going to be appointment viewing at the Olympics.
It's going to be so fun. Yeah. I can't wait to see it, right? Because nobody expects the Germans to do anything, right? I mean,
dark horse.
When you look at what their power play might look like, and you look at
Grubauer's playing well this year too. Like they got a goalie.
You got a goalie, and dude, the culture of the Germans, they're hardworking, right? Like they're gonna have that little bit like. I don't want to say they're going to be like Finland, but like the way the Finnish players are is
relentless.
They will go at you, right? They're not going to back down. There's no chance that the German team is going to be just a team that's going to lie down and let you take a game, right? Like they're going to come at you in as many waves as they might have. But I mean, you got to expect that, Tim Stützle is going to be their number one center, right? And him and Draisaitl are going to be working together on what they're going to be able to do.
So you're pushing Draisaitl the wing for Timmy? I mean, you'd think they would load them up, and like Draisaitl's played more wing than Timmy.
I might have said that. Like, okay, so Draisaitl typically
Draisaitl's played more wing with McDavid, who's a shifty dynamic. I'm not saying Timmy's McDavid, obviously.
I think that's what I meant. I kind of actually forgot that Draisaitl is also a centerman, but he.
But I think if you're Germany, you have to be like, we're a one-line team, and then 3 lines are going to have to play 50-50 or at least like defend, and then blitzkrieg.
Yeah. I'll be curious to see what they do. Maybe they split them up and then just have them playing together. I don't know.
I don't think they have enough talent to do that like throughout their lineup.
Yeah, I mean, because Peterka, you got Peterka, and then I don't know who else.
That's about it. Like Lucas Reichel, and like on the back end, Sider's elite. Like that they've got their number one D who's going to eat 35 minutes a game, but not a whole lot of NHLers beyond that. I've actually got it on my calendar here, like my own iCalendar. Canada France plays in the morning on February 15th, and then it's USA Germany at 3:00.
Oh my God, that's
gonna be sick.
I'm gonna be in Costa Rica for that, so I can't say I'm gonna be sitting down to watch every Germany game. But at the same time, it's exciting to think that Tim Stützle is gonna be able to represent his country again for the first time since 2020, right? Like I mean, other than the World
21, yeah, World Juniors 2020. No, he played a World Championships too.
World Championship, yeah, I guess that's
true. Not the same.
That's different though. Like I mean, you know what I mean? This is a best on best tournament, and same. With the World Juniors, it was a best on best tournament as well. And
yeah,
this is what he lives for, man. He's a very proud German guy. And I mean, I've been hearing about what he's like off the ice more and more. And what I'm hearing is just nothing but great things, right? Like he is very involved again with the community, and he wants to do more there. And I think you'll see some more things coming there as well. But
dude, he bought Pilsy and I a haircut.
I know. I mean,
like he's all time.
Listen, Ross, that's just a very small taste of, I think, what, he likes it here. He really does.
Oh, he loves it.
Yeah. He's an Ottawa guy, right?
He was chirping me about Winnipeg, though. I was like, buddy, you got a family. Give me a break. Like, that speaks to the kind of guy he is, too. He heard that Pilsy and I were at the rink there, at the practice rink. We were just chatting with Ian and Jackson. We weren't trying to get any players. It was an optional practice, and obviously coming off a tough loss in Minnesota where they gave up the game-winning goal in the last minute. And he and Brady separately both heard we were there and came and said what up and chatted us up for a bit. Like, they don't have to do that. Like, we won't hold anything against them if they don't, obviously. But the fact that they did, I think it speaks a lot about they want to be a part of the community as a whole. And I respect the hell out of it. Like, last summer, Brady was like, yo, when are we doing our show this summer? Like, that's not normal. No. Like, and Brady told me not to post it, and I never would. But he, like, made my buddy a video for his bachelor party.
Yeah.
I told my best buddy, I wouldn't ask for anybody else. My best buddy, and we're going to Nova Scotia. He was so above and beyond. And I just I told my best friend Wes when it happened, I was like, there's 32 captains in the NHL, and this is the only guy of all of them that would do this for you.
Yeah,
or for anyone.
I think that's probably true. Like, it's just true character right in that room. And then that leads to Jake Sanderson too. I think he's the kind of guy too where, I mean, he's in the gym all day, but then at the same time, I think he loves being a Senator and working for this team and this community. And I mean, it's not hard not to be excited about. I mean, this season's a little bit of a hard one right now. They're going to have an uphill climb. If these guys can pull that climb off and get themselves into the playoffs, then look out, because
I don't doubt them.
I don't doubt them either. I would be.
They needed a goalie, but like that's all they've needed all year, and now they're $8.25 million player. Their second highest paid player on the whole team behind Timmy came back and put on that performance.
Yeah,
if he can play 20 of the last 29 games, I think this team's in a really good spot if he's playing like that.
Dude, if he's playing like that, that's what we've all needed and wanted, right? Like, he needed to obviously take care of himself and get his head right. But now that he has, like,
dude, that windmill save in the second period was so nasty.
I know, yeah.
And even like one of the first saves he made in the game, that's going in on any other Senators goalie this season, where it like hits him, it goes up, and he falls back on it and doesn't move and kick it into his own net.
He did that a couple times where it was like he ended up on top of the puck just magically. Actually, the one that impressed me the most, I'm really blanking on who shot it, but it was like kind of like a bit of a one-time play, but he reached up with his shoulder and it just stuck to him.
Yeah.
That was probably his best save of the game, because that puck was going in the net and he just kind of reached up like this and it just kind of jammed in his elbow or like in his shoulder, and he just took it. And it was, that's just great goaltending right there. Because I think for a lot of guys, that thing either trickles through or blows by you, or, there's a juicy rebound there somewhere. But I don't know how that thing just ended up sticking to him like Velcro. He had the hockey gods on his side tonight. There's no doubt about it. Linus Ullmark. It reminded me as a little bit of a like toned down version of remember Bobby Ryan when he came back.
Yeah, I remember he scored into the empty net, and then he was chirping Josh Norris in his first NHL game, was stick tapping for it. He was Travis Hammoning for it. Beaver taps, give me the puck. Apu, he's always open, like in The Simpsons.
7-11. Yeah. It reminded me a little bit of dude, for that Bobby Ryan game, I was up in the fan deck and I was fan decking. Like, nice, like you wouldn't believe. So like
March 14th against the Ducks, matinee fan decking. Woo.
Oh, buddy, I was up there with all my cousins. Like we were having a time. And one of my cousins is a Vancouver Canucks fan too, so it made it extra special. But that was a great return. But like this was the kind of return that kind of gave that little bit similar feeling where, it was like you could tell that the entire fan base and community was behind the goaltender. And I mean, that's the kind of power that the fans can actually bring to the game. It's a lot like, I hate to say this as a Patriots fan going into Super Bowl against the Seattle Seahawks, but that's what they call them, man. It's that's the 12th man. It's it's the fan base bringing that extra element that it actually helps what's going on the ice as well. So I think for a guy to be able to feel that and know that he's got that support, it brings him to a new level, because he can feel it all around him, and he knows that everybody's behind him, and it gives him kind of a bit of a superpower when he's in his position.
Who had the better catch, Connor Brown tonight when he thought he scored, or David Tyree in the Super Bowl, as we had Eli Manning in attendance tonight?
Yeah, like it was so weird seeing Eli Manning in Ottawa. Like, what's up?
I think it was Sportsnet that posted that, and then beside it, what's a polar bear doing in Arlington, Texas meme?
Yeah, so here's something that you wouldn't have seen probably on the broadcast, but they ended up doing like one of those trivia things it was a fan like a fan challenge or whatever. There was a better dancer. I think it was show me your touchdown dance, I believe was the challenge, and everybody was doing their touchdown dances, blah, blah, blah. And then one of these guys gets down in the aisle in one of these sections and starts chugging his beer, and that ended up being the winner. But then sure enough, who comes down to give him his prize? It's Eli Manning, right? And you can see them kind of like the guy. I don't even think he realized it was Eli Manning right away, because he was kind of like, how it is when you're in that kind of situation, and like there's a lot of noise, and like probably adrenaline's going for him because he knows he's on camera, and then like he's got this big guy with his arm around him, and then the stadium says, and Eli Manning to give him his prize, and he's got this white envelope that he hands the kid, and then you could kind of see in his eyes when he did realize that it was Eli Manning, and then you could see them having a conversation. It was pretty funny that, like, I don't know, the Sens somehow involved Eli Manning into the in-game experience tonight. It was pretty funny.
That's so funny. A part of me is like, was it a little too much for a celebrity at the game? You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, what are the chances that a two-time Stanley Cup champion, Super Bowl,
yeah,
Freudian slip, two-time Super Bowl champion is going to be in Ottawa for a daughter's hockey tournament? If you're wondering why he was here, I think they're all in Club Bell. Wow, he can afford Club Bell? Yeah, he can. I don't even want to look up his career earnings, let alone what he's made after his career. He's like a very solid broadcaster too, in what he does. That Manning cast is all time. But like, I did think it was kind of funny. They were pulling him here, pulling him there. Like, he's at the game with no promotional affiliation, right? He's not going there to sell anything. And Jackson's got him for an interview. The Sean McKenzie of Sportsnet's got him for an interview. They got him doing promotions at the TV.
Yeah. Hey, like, can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do this for us? Do you mind? And so
he got a signed Brady Tkachuk jersey, so all's not lost. Maybe that was just the cost of doing business.
Yeah, great.
But that did cross my mind. I was like, they got this guy on the payroll tonight.
I mean, this poor guy, like, he's just there for his daughter's hockey tournament and just trying to take her to an NHL game in Ottawa, nice Canadian hockey market.
Do you think he saw her at all?
I don't think he saw her once. He was out and about. He was working.
He was working. They put him
I feel bad, but also at the same time, like, it's like you said, like, how often are you gonna get a guy like that in there? But
yeah, that's a cool moment.
I hope at least they comped this, like they gave him tickets to make sure that, like, they had to have got him in the building for free to be asking him to do all this stuff.
Hey, imagine they're like, hey, as a thank you, we've actually got you tickets when the Islanders come to town on a Thursday night in March.
Yeah.
So this one you're paying for, but don't worry, we got your next one. No, jokes aside, hey, good on him for being a good sport about it too, and it was all good all around. My Sen Central standout, you've got the German.
Yep.
Jack's got Linus Ullmark. Tell me, how good did Brady Tkachuk look at ice level tonight? 3 points, but I thought even before he had any of them, he was being physical defensively. I thought that he had a good stick and was in the right position. I thought this was a great game for Brady Tkachuk.
Oh, for sure. And his goal tonight was textbook Brady Tkachuk. Like, when he shoots low like that, there's not many players in the league who shoot low.
We've got the perfect collaboration between what you just said, or what we just said, with Brady Tkachuk being a standout, and the Eli Manning conversation. Can you read that caption for me? Wait, up top. Let's take this out. Can you read that caption?
The only Brady that Eli's never beaten. I don't like that caption.
That's pretty good. So there's what Eli got for a good night of work. He got to go down and meet the boys.
I'm sure Brady was excited to see that. I know he's a big football guy, right? So that's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Senators. That's a Patriots guy. I don't love that caption.
No, but hey, facts are facts. Facts are facts. Brady Tkachuk. Dude, how big is Eli Manning?
He's huge, dude.
That's crazy. I didn't think he was that big.
Yeah, dude,
Brady's an enormous human being.
Those quarterbacks, man, they're all like 6'6", like those really good guys like that. Yeah, they stand in.
Except for Doug Flutie, my guy. I got a Doug Flutie Chargers jersey sitting around somewhere. That's a classic.
Oh, that's a beauty.
Canadian. Yeah, I got that, and then I got the baby blue LaDainian Tomlinson.
Oh, that's a real beauty, Ross.
Classy. I pull that out once a summer. I'm just like, this isn't me.
LT.
The LT.
LT. Oh, yeah.
Those are my only two NFL jerseys, actually.
It's too bad he was never on better teams, Ross.
I know. He tried at the end. Didn't he do a little hopping at the end? He went to the Jets. Everyone's here for the postcast to listen about LaDainian Tomlinson's career.
Go to the Jets.
He just went to the Jets. 2 years at the Jets. Dude, he was so sick.
Yeah, he was great.
Sick. Final thoughts on tonight's game, Marshy.
I mean, here we go. We're a couple games away from the break here now. I think they got 2 or 3 left here, Ross. They're on the road. They're gonna have to go out there on the road and get work done. Now, this is the time. Now we go. You put yourself in the best position you possibly can heading into this Olympic break. We've only got a handful of players that are going to be going and actually playing hockey. The rest of the guys are going to have to take a little setback and relax a little bit, recharge, reset. And but these next 3 games are super important. Tonight was a nice stepping stone towards that. This was one of those games where New Jersey didn't have a great roster set for tonight. They were missing a lot of guys. They had illnesses on the team, and the Sens needed the win, and they won. So that's all you need to do in a situation like that. That's all we've been asking for as fans. We've seen this a few times this season, where even when New Jersey came in last time they were in town, that was a game they should have won, and they didn't. And so to win a game that you're supposed to win means a lot at this point in the season. And now they got to go out on the road and they got to win a few more. And it's not like they have anything crazy coming up, right? It's like,
I don't know if you saw this. Pittsburgh just won their 6th straight game today.
It's Philly, it's Pittsburgh,
then Carolina, second half of back-to-back, and then Thursday in Philadelphia.
Right. So, I mean, listen, it's not going to be easy, but they got to win those games.
Got to win those games. Good start tonight. And Alex points out that we actually had Eli Manning on the payroll tonight too. I said he ran into Eli Manning tonight, and he said, subscribe to Locked On Senators. So glad that message got through from our people to his people. Frank points out that, yes, I told him that the Colorado game was a Sens win. Threw him a follow on Instagram. We got you there, buddy. Jim, go Sens, go. Stutzel's God. The D is king. The defensive play of these Ottawa Senators is incredible, and you really have to appreciate that. Couple breakdowns. Didn't love the 2-on-1. A little aggressive by Clevin there in the offensive zone. Goes the other way, but Linus with just another elite save there. Vern writes in, welcome back, Ullmark. You're the man. Vern, you're the man. We appreciate you, brother. Can't control life. Can control. That used to be can't control. You can control it now. I love that. Oli, GSG, chat, LOSP, and bagels. Yes, this is the bagel postcast. And then Jim also points out that we got to bring Christoph Schubert out of retirement. I'd imagine that's for the Team Germany Olympic conversation. Get him in there. Friend of the show, former guest on LOSB. That guy's an absolute beauty. We love to see it. We also love to see wins, and the Senators have 3 straight wins. Vegas, Colorado, and tonight against an Eastern Conference opponent in the New Jersey Devils. 4-1, the final score for tonight. We say goodbye. Make sure you're following along on Twitter at Lalim's Martian, at Send Central for the Martian. I'm Ross Levitan. Shout out to Jack, who's enjoying his time at the GCP. Let's actually leave on this note because, I mean, we know that Jack has gone through some trials and tribulations with the live stream. That's a smile worth 1,000 words at the GCP. That's over on Twitter. You can see that photo there from Jack, just enjoying himself at the Glebe Central Pub, as he very well should. Sens win 4-1 over New Jersey. We'll be back Monday morning for a game day preview, a back-to-back preview. Oh boy, Pilsy, you're going to have some thoughts on this one. I just know it. Can't wait to hear it. Thanks so much for everyone who joins the chat. Bang, over 450 for most of this postcast, and we could not thank you all enough for being here. So we'll do it again Monday, and we got the postcast on Tuesday. We got 4 episodes coming in 2 days, Monday, Tuesday. So stay tuned wherever you get your podcast. Subscribe on YouTube, and shout out to the Glebe Central Pub at 779 Bank Street. I see the chat's a step ahead of me, but let's get some GSGs in the chat as we sign off today from the postcast presented by the Locked On Senators podcast. It's your team every day.